My name is Lev Kozvlosky. I'm a senior here, and my major is computer science. When I first got into acting, I was really young. I think I was like 5 or 6. There was this little theater by my house about half an hour away that I didn't really want to go to because, anything my mom wants to do is the bane of my existence. But I went there, I was forced to, and for that first year we put on Sleeping Beauty. I played the prince. It was a largely unspeaking role, which, I understand, I was 6 years old, but at the very end of that performance, standing up in front of the crowd, it was kind of mesmerizing, and it was a feeling that I constantly wanted to recapture, so I kept coming back year after year. I would say that my favorite role that I've ever really played would probably have to be last year, Lumiere, for Beauty and the Beast. See, that's a tough one, because if you had asked me a year ago what my favorite aspects of acting were, I would have to say getting lost in the character, because that's something that's really easy to do once you act with that character for a while, as well as standing up in front of the crowd, completely immersed in everyone's cheers. I'm a bit of a narcissist, I admit, but this year I feel like my thoughts have largely changed on acting. I've begun to enjoy the little things, like just interacting with the other actors. It's always great. Especially if you have a good cast, you bounce off each other, you have fun, have a few laughs, screw around. It's great. It's a great time. I love the atmosphere. And I would say having those little moments where I really understand the character, because before it was just memorization and getting lost in that character. Now I become that character, as in there's a moment where I understand my character's motivations, his emotions at that moment, and sometimes that can lead to some really interesting improv that I'm allowed to do, which I feel like is really fun. Ever since I was a kid, I always loved superheroes, as most kids my age, and the first one I really latched onto was Spider-Man. I was born in New York, and everything around me it was constant Spider-Man. I would take my dad to the comic book store every other week, and even when I was 3 years old, to force him to take me to the comic book store, I'd get a new Spider-Man comic. I read so many of them that my eyes bled Spider-Man at that point, and I would just eat, sleep, and breathe Spider-Man. And even though that my opinions on Spider-Man have slightly changed, I still have a nostalgic lens for that time. And with, Tom Holland's story of how he became Spider-Man, I feel like I could portray Spider-Man in my own unique way. So I would always want to get that chance. I really don't know where my life after high school will lead me. I'm a really indecisive person. I've always been. And I feel like the only way that I'll really figure that out for myself is to just see what pulls me more. Because I've always wanted to be a creative director for video game development. And that's what I'm primarily pursuing in college right now. But I do always want to have theater, at least as a hobby, because it is really fun. It is really enjoyable. Stressful at times, as all hobbies usually are, but it has a payout like no hobby else. You're gonna feel demotivated at times. You're gonna struggle a lot. You're gonna beat yourself up, think that you're not as good as another actor. But the thing is, you are. Trust me, inside of you, you know how to play this character. You just need time. That's all you need. You're not gonna get it right away. Don't beat yourself up then. You beat yourself up after the performance, and then you come back to the next one better than before. All done?